Carburetors part 2, some air filter, fuel tap rebuild kit, carb component rebuild kit, ring seals, etc, bits of pipe. Altogether £147, Australian $300, including the postage, rubber seals. The carburetors are clean. We'll just go and strip and change the pieces. Look, this shouldn't really take very long. Now that I know my way around these carburetors, probably about as much as I do as a set of 350 carbs, it shouldn't take very long just to change all the bits and pieces, especially as everything's all been degunked. I'm taking these out. They come in the kit, so that's getting changed. I've taken the little old seals out of either side of that, so they're out. They're getting changed. When we were taking the carburetor apart last week, I didn't actually take the jet needle out, and I said, "Oh, that's because we're going to wait for the new parts." So I might as well do that first. So I'm just in here with a pair of Phillips heads.
Cool.
You can't just like change the needle but not the needle jet.
Right.
Okay. And this little bracket there that's with that spring, that's what I was talking about before. There's that. Right, that's your jet needle. Now when you tune in your carbs, again this is mainly for you, Trace.
Why me?
Well, because I assume most people watching this already know, but
come on, Idiot's Guide then, let's go.
Okay. You see this little circlet?
Yeah.
See the grooves?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 5 grooves.
Yeah.
This is currently in the middle one.
Right.
Okay, so this is part of your adjustment when you're tuning your carburetors. When you got like it's on tick, you start to open it. Depending on whether it stalls and bogs down, you may need to move the position of this. Okay, so important to note because we're going to change it for new ones.
Sounds like a lot of trouble to me, but go on then, let's go.
It's a bit fiddly, yes, but once you've got your jetting set up correctly, you're laughing. But this is why I'm so kind of anal about all of the gasket seals, because if you've got any little air leaks, particularly if it gets warm and then it suddenly starts leaking air in, your mixture is going to change. The way that it runs on the throttle is going to change. It's going to be erratic, and you'll be pissing about all day changing jets and whatnot. So it's just worth that extra few minutes to make sure you've got perfectly good seals everywhere, and then you're not in and out of your carburetors changing positions and whatever.
Top tip,
yeah. One thing I will say is the throttle valves, right? So when you take these out and you inspect them, you're looking for little score marks on the sides.
like that.
They're very, very fine.
Yeah.
Right, but that. Well, put it this way. There's not a lot I can do about it because you can't get them. They're no longer available. You know, like we had all the problem with the choke valves, the choke plungers. You know how what? Oh my God.
Really? Do you think I actually store any of this shit that you tell me?
Maybe. Right, okay, well, when I'm out riding the bikes, right, and I've got 2 of them, then I expect you to be in here stripping down and rebuilding. It's no good if you're not paying attention, girl. Anyway, what the fuck?
You are a dickhead.
I know.
Right, have you finished telling me shit now?
Well, look, right, there are score marks in this, and the reason this particular carburetor, so this is number 2, and the reason I'm talking about it in the first place is because as I'm opening and closing the throttle, these ones will snap shut real nice. Ready?
Yeah.
Right, that one will snap shut real nice. This one doesn't.
Right.
Right, it's a bit slow on the uptake, a bit like me.
Yep.
Okay, so there are score marks on there, and when I look down the inside of this, you know, where the throttle valve actually moves up and down, many times in its lifetime, there's a tiniest little bit of scoring on there, which makes sense because the scoring on here. In the ideal world, I'd get a new one of those, but you can't get them. You're buggered.
Right.
Okay, so this is one of the new ones going in. Yeah. Previously, I could just push that up with my hands and it just click into place. As it stands, I'm sure turn it upside down and tap it. Yeah. Okay, so it's fully there.
Cool.
But it just needed a bit of a love tap to get it in.
Any excuse.
Yeah, any excuse. A little bit unnerving, to be fair, to have to do that, but just showing everybody what is happening in the real world here. The other thing I noticed as well is with the new kit, see the new brass washer? Oh, it does fit. You know, the other one was a bit tight, so I just reused the other brass washer.
Okay. Just edit that bit out.
Yeah, let's pretend it all fitted perfectly.
Yeah.
Right, so I've cleaned up where the throttle valve goes. I've just cleaned that with a little bit of 2000 grit, just very, very gently. Give it a bit of a clean. And similar to the outside of the throttle valve itself. Just tweak that up there. I don't know what the torque setting of that is. Click, click.
Mm-hmm.
That's my joke.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Not bad. Right. What? Okay. So this is what I was talking about as a matching set, right? So a lot of the time when you rebuild your carburetors, not a lot of the time, right? Okay. One of the problems you get with carburetors is you turn your fuel tap on and water.
That is a problem.
Let's edit that out. Right. One of the problems you get with carburetors, particularly when the bike's been stood for a while, is you turn your fuel tap on, fuel comes down into the pipe, starts filling this bowl here.
Yeah.
The floats move.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that little tang there. Tang. That little piece of metal there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That. Can you see that little sort of thin wire going over the top?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That tang fits between that piece of wire and that little springy plunger, detent plunger there.
Right.
Right. Pushes the plunger into this brass fitment.
Right.
And actually creates such a perfect seal that it stops the fuel from flowing. So it's just it's like a stopcock on your toilet. You know, when your water's filling up and then it shuts off. Right.
Amazing.
Amazing, yeah. But doing that with petrol is kind of tricky because petrol will seep past anything.
Right.
And if it does, it'll go through the overflow and then be dribbling out all over the place. So anyway, these two should always be changed as a pair.
Okay.
That's where I'm going with that.
Right.
Big waffle.
Okay. And that's seepage because it's water consistency, right?
Fucking shut up. Okay, so I'm looking at this. That's currently set to about 23 mil. All I want to do is just bend the tang up just a fraction. So very carefully you measure. Not yet. Okay, that's 22 mil now.
Cool.
Okay, so the issue I was having before was that the throttle slide wasn't moving correctly. It's a bit sticky, whereas now it's nice. So happy with that.
Cool.
Okay, so prior to putting these back onto the bike, I wanted to synchronize them as best as possible. So you've got your tick over adjuster here, your idle adjuster, and that's controlling the limit stop position of this one. This is the one that the throttle cables are going to go to. So if you turn that in, you'd increase your tick over. You turn it out, it's going to decrease it. So where I've got it at the minute, you've got a limited amount of compression on this spring. As you can see, it's tightened up. There's not an awful lot left in it, but it's lifted it up. And the reason I've done that is I've lifted it up so that I can get a 5mm drill bit into this opening here. So that's just got a smallest bit of drag on it. And if you've done valve clearances the old-fashioned way years ago without shims, where you just actually adjust it, you'll get that small amount of drag. Right, so that's 5mm opening there, as controlled by this screw. As we know, when we open the throttle using the cable, it rotates this, goes through the linkage, lifts this side up here, and it operates this side. Now you've got another adjuster here. One thing you got to do when you start off by backing out the screw, then get your pliers and make sure there's no air gap between the face of the screw and the base of this. Okay, then as you've got your drill bit in, you're just tightening down on this screw Might seem slightly odd to do that. So there's no friction there at the minute. Okay, there it is. All right, small amount of friction. Okay, now ideally what's just happened there is both throttle slides, as you operate the throttle, if you get to maximum, so that is just come up to the top there. It's just showing the first part of the throttle slide there. Yeah, and basically so should that be as well. So from the base where you've got just 5 mil of drag, 5 mil of drag, they're the same at the base, they're the same at the top. They should be synchronized. Now, when we actually fit them onto the bike, we can use other devices to fine tune them. But at least we've got a starting point. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least we've got a starting point before we fit them onto the bike. Because yeah, that's just how I do it anyway. On 350LC carbs, you've got a clear window on the side, so you can turn the throttle so far, and on the actual throttle slide there's a dimple that you can actually see through that little window. Makes it easy that way around. I haven't read into the manual yet to see how they reckon you're supposed to do it, but this is another way that I've done the old 350 ones as well. Use a different size draw bit as relevant, but anyway, this is where I'm up to at the minute, is 5 mil, small amount of drag, small amount of drag. Just double check it when they're fully open. They're both just reaching full opening at the same time. And I'll set these up the same. And then when everything's on, and I want to do any adjustment to the idle, because no doubt it's going to be too high at this point, I'm just guessing, just forewarning myself. Then I can adjust this by, say, a quarter of a turn back, go to this one, turn that one of a quarter of a turn back. Everything should be in sync. This is before we even start connecting cables and bits and pieces, which is going to be the next part of it. You've got 4 carburetors to balance, and I'm just starting off with a crude manual way of doing it.
Okay.
Okay.
Again, telling the wrong person, but well done.
All the jets, all the needle jets, gaskets, everything has been changed and put back together. Both carbs have been set. The tick over will be high because I've got the 5 mil spacing that I've used on all 4 throttle valves at the moment. But that's not a problem. At least I've got a uniform starting point. This afternoon I'd like to get these fitted back onto the bike. I'd like to get the throttle cables connected, the choke cables connected, and yeah, and that'll be a wrap then. Okay, got the pipe. Carburetors ready to refit, all fully refurbished. Only thing missing on these is the air pilot jets. Couldn't get those. Got a lot of the old components out of the carburetors. We're going to keep them safe just in case there's anything that we need to reuse. Got the new cables. Old cables are sitting there. To be honest, it's too hot in here to work today. All right, it's killing us. So we're going to wrap it up. Next episode, what we'll do, we'll get all the electrics on, we'll get the exhaust pipes all painted and fuel connected, etc., and go for a first start. That's my plan at the moment. And nothing else, Tracy.
No, just ignore what you told me you were going to do, but all my jobs. But hey, do the bike.
We'll get to your jobs after we get to this job.
How many times have I heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you owe me.
All right. See you later.